Around Christmas 2020, one of the better things that was happening in social media was a Twitter thread by a man named Mohammed Hussein. I won't tell you much more about him because that Twitter thread explains it all. He writes, "Growing up, my Muslim family never celebrated Christmas. This year, I am not going home because pandemic, so my roommates are teaching me how to have my first proper Christmas. I am approaching this with anthropological precision. Here are a few observations. Observation 1. Christmas is a part-time job that you have from mid-November to the end of December. From the outside looking in, Christmas always seemed pretty simple. I always thought you put up a tree and then gave gifts to family. This is a lie. Do you want to sleep in on a Saturday? Too bad. Go put up some lights inside the house. Oh, you want to sleep in on Sunday? Too bad. Go put up some lights outside the house. Next weekend? Nope. Every free moment you have will be spent agonizing over the gifts you must buy." Observation 2. People have very strong feelings about their Christmas traditions. If someone is insisting that certain food is what you have to eat Christmas morning because that's their family tradition, do not suggest alternatives. They will stab you in the neck. Observation 3. You can buy yourself a gift, but you can't stuff your own stocking. I don't understand this one, but I told my roommate I bought stuff for my stocking and they said that's not a thing. I don't care. I bought myself mint chapstick and I will fake surprise. Observation 4. Your gift budget does not matter. You can set this budget as high as you want, but the perfect gift will always be $10 too expensive. There is no winning. Just give up. Observation 5. There are two streams of Christmas ornaments: the fillers and the keepers. The fillers are the generic ones. The keepers are meant to be special and unique. The second stream is stored in your family's reliquary to be one day passed on to the children. My roommates encouraged me to buy my own keeper ornament. They told me to find something that made me smile and that was special to me. I bought this one and I am very happy. It is an everything bagel. Observation 6. Ornaments are expensive. That cost me $15.99. That's more than 3 everything bagels. I am furious. For what it costs, you best believe that I will be insisting that it be passed on to my great-grandchildren. If they break it, I will haunt them. Observation 7. The religious aspect of Christmas is optional. I really like this one. If I was to suggest having a secular Ramadan to my mother, she would have a heart attack. I will, however, be trying to get my family to do a secret Santa for Eid. The name's being workshopped. Observation 8. You need a menu. Yeah, this one is where they lost me. Last Christmas, my family ordered Popeyes and watched a movie. My roommate has an entire menu with wine pairings and desserts planned. To wrap things up, I want to applaud longtime Christmas celebrators. This is a lot of work and very tiring. I will say I am having a very pleasant time. I am learning that I enjoy Christmas music and gift purchasing. I am also learning that I do not enjoy peppermint. The thread blew up and was shared in many, many ways. I'm guessing that's because many people who grew up celebrating Christmas have the same sort of reaction I do, nodding and agreeing that indeed, this is the correct way to celebrate Christmas. Even most of us who are committed to the religious aspect of Christmas still recognize there are both secular and religious celebrations of the holiday. But you better believe that Christmas food should involve a pumpkin roll at some point. I remember another story a man told of celebrating Christmas with different girlfriends. He also had not grown up in a household that celebrated Christmas, and so his first experience of gift giving was with a girlfriend and her family. What he quickly discovered was how bad he is at gift giving. He spent a long time thinking about her gift and planning it. He still failed miserably the first year, so he put even more effort into her gift the second year. spending lots of time thinking and planning. And that second year, despite all of his effort, once he got in the store, he still panicked, and he bought her a very nice pocket watch. He realized afterward she also had no use for a pocket watch, but that was only after she opened it in front of her family and tried to act happy. By the third year, his girlfriend's mother called him with very specific instructions to buy her a gold ankle bracelet. She told him what store had it, provided a picture, along with several other details to make sure he didn't screw it up. He got her the gift, but soon after Christmas, they broke up. By the time he was celebrating Christmas with a new girlfriend and her family, he had a better sense of buying gifts. She talked often about how she missed playing her family's piano at their home and didn't have room for one in her apartment. So he bought her a keyboard, wrapped it up, and took it to her family's home for her to open during their Christmas celebrations. But after dinner, when they were beginning to open packages, he realized the present he had purchased was by far the largest under the tree, and not in a good way. As they opened packages together, it became clear that her family had a much different approach to gifts than what he had previously experienced. A gift in their family was much more likely to be, "Here's a book I read that I enjoyed and thought you might too." Or, "I made you a batch of your favorite cookies." Or, "I made a gift in your name to public radio." His girlfriend had made him a scrapbook of things collected from their first year of dating, which it turns out he thought was just the right sort of gift. And by the next Christmas, she was getting an engagement ring. Today's reading from John is one of the I am statements that Jesus makes in the Gospels. I am harkens back to God's revelation of God's name to Moses. After Moses fled Egypt, while he was tending the sheep of his father-in-law Jethro, he saw a bush that was aflame but did not burn up. When he approached the bush, God called out for Moses to take off his shoes, for he was standing on holy ground. And God spoke to Moses, saying, I am the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God commands Moses to return to Egypt and lead the Hebrew people out of slavery. Moses objects, finally asking to know God's name. God's answer is, I am who I am. It could also be, I will be who I will be, or a few other options actually, because it is an intentionally ambiguous revelation. But the final word is that Moses should go to the people and say, I am has sent me. And when they hear that, they would follow him out of Egypt. When Jesus begins by saying, I am, there is no mistake that he is hearkening back to this story, this revelation of God's identity made so long ago. I am the bread of life. I am the light of the world. I am the gate. I am the good shepherd. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the way and the truth and the life. I am the true vine. Those statements are sprinkled throughout the gospel according to John, telling us more about who Jesus is each time, revealing more of the way God is known among us. We come back to, I am the good shepherd. Out of the I am statements, it's one of the more direct ones. We understand sheep and shepherds on some levels. Most animals, especially herds of livestock, recognize the voice of their caretaker and will come when called. I've seen cattle swim flooded river bottoms, following the sound of my dad's voice in order to reach the safety of dry land. I've heard calves stop their bawling at the sound of my voice, knowing that I was coming with a bottle to feed them. A shepherd is inherently a relationship, one marked by care and comfort. It seems a lot like those Christmas stories of figuring out how to love someone, learning what matters to them, giving space for it to be messy and awkward, choosing to invite them in anyway. I am the good shepherd, Jesus says. And I think that's a lot like I am yours and you are mine. I am yours, Jesus says, and you are mine. Jesus promises a relationship of care, of compassion, of safety. After all, that's what a good shepherd offers. It is good news for each of us who needs to be loved, cared for, kept safe. The safety part actually matters most of all in this image, because it is a shepherd's first duty. But this passage also turns us outward. Part of this image of the Good Shepherd is Jesus' promise that he has other sheep of a different fold and must find them also. He is not just the shepherd for those sheep already present. We who have little experience with sheep are still called to reflect the Good Shepherd in our relationship with others. And as we think about what it would mean for us to feel welcome, to feel cared for, to feel safe, those become the questions that we too turn outward. Who is not safe? How can I help keep that person safe? Who needs to feel comforted? Who needs someone to tend them until they are able to tend others? For we too are shepherds, called to stay and tend, to chase away danger, to provide safety and comfort to those who need it most. Amen.